To some headlines now. Trump's strategic crypto reserves. That's his. We're seeing that rally because of this statement there on Sunday. U.S. President Donald Trump made good on his campaign promise to start a U.S. crypto reserve. In a post on Truth Social, where he made a statement, and we saw the impacts right there. He mentioned XRP, Solana, and Cardano. I think Cardano is up over 40% in 24 hours. So, and we're also seeing news that Trump is set to hold his first White House cryptocurrency conference. That's coming Friday. So, I don't know how bullish, that is for the market, but we'll definitely find out. A lot to look out for. Now, we see Bitcoin risk. That has spiked recently. According to a tweet by Swiss Block Technologies, Bitcoin risk has spiked. In context, we're seeing an index that had remained calm since October is now flashing emergency mode for Bitcoin. Risk levels have surpassed the August peak, triggered by a market turmoil from the yen carry trade, and now approaching September levels. So the last time that happened, Bitcoin corrected to about $53,000, but I know investors will be looking out for that bottom. Then Mr. Kiyosaki, Robert Kiyosaki, a renowned financial education advocate and the author of the popular book, Finance Management, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, has issued a gloomy prediction about the global financial system, adding that Bitcoin can help investors go through its future collapse securely. He also slammed Bitcoin ETFs, insisting that only real Bitcoin is worth buying, according to Mr. Robert Kiyosaki there. Then we're also seeing data this year alone, 2025. We've had about 4 major hacks in the crypto world. The first one, Bybit, February 21st, estimated loss was about $1.46 billion. Guess that most of that was recovered. Then Ads Power, between January 21st and 24th, they lost about $4.7 million to a hack. Femex lost $85 million. Mobi, January 10th, they lost $2.5 million. They recovered $1.5 million. But now, let's get an outlook on what to expect from most of these hacks, especially when it has to do with cryptocurrency and blockchain. So to help us now, we have Adebayo Tiamiu, who's a blockchain investigations and intelligence expert. Great to have you on the show.
Thank you for having me on the show. Nice to be here.
Right. So when you see the sums, that get lost with most of these hacks, it's quite scary because that's somebody's money that's going down the drain. Somewhere somebody's going to get hurt from losing that amount of money from most of these cryptocurrency platforms. So break it down for me. How do you just wake up one morning and you're able to hack a massive platform that's supposed to have so much security? Walk us through how it happens.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me on the show once more. I think speaking specifically about some of the recent tasks we've experienced this year, the major issue around all of this hack is actually on Web 2, not necessarily on Web 3. In the past, there's always been some smart contracts having vulnerabilities, but right now what we are seeing is more of the Web 2 infrastructure, the information security infrastructure of some of these particular businesses that are getting phished and getting social engineered. Specifically on the Bybit, which is like the largest so far, it's actually like a combination of all of the acts last year, does not even equate to what happened on Bybit. The Bybit attack itself was just a supply chain attack. It wasn't necessarily on Bybit itself. It was one of the solutions they are using to ensure their wallet infrastructure is secure. So it was a developer that works for Safe that was socially engineered, and then through that they were able to actually attack Bybit. So it's a supply chain attack in this case.
Right, and going forward, do you think we'll see more of these, attacks? And how do you think these platforms can protect themselves and maybe investors too in this space? How can they protect their investments at this point from being cleaned out or wiped out in the twinkle of an eye?
I would say this is not going to be the end of attacks in the crypto space. Specifically, also with some of the announcements that we've had recently with the one of yesterday from Donald Trump. Even if there has not been much more of an highlight on crypto, right now we are going to see much more than what we've already experienced. And I think over the course of the years, there's always going to be that continuous improvement in how security is being seen within this space. One thing has always been that security and compliance generally have always been seen as like an afterthought when it comes to so many of those crypto projects. But with some of the bigger exchanges, bigger services out there, security is one of the things which they kind of like build all of their infrastructures on. So I would say it is going to still continue to happen, especially when we still have the likes of DPRK in the space. Just about anybody can hack anything at this point. But the fact that we do not have a very concise and standardized security policy to guide some of these exchanges is some of the issues we're having. For a bank in Nigeria, they are more likely to have ISO 27001 as one of their standardization for security management. But within the crypto ecosystem, everything is kind of like in silos right now. So there is really not one specific information security standard that cuts across all of the different variables of what cryptocurrency is. And for like a general individual who has funds in some of these particular platforms, it's less of what they can do and more of what the government can do in terms of like having insurance around some of the assets you have on these platforms, the same way we have in like for a bank where a certain amount of your funds are secured or insured by like a Nikon. I'm not sure maybe that's what, but like, yeah, these are some of the policies that also still needs to be put in place for Web3 space, which we don't have yet.
Right, so much to unpack there, but definitely everyone wants to get safe, when it comes to investing and all of that. But thank you for unpacking that for us. Adebayo Otiami is a blockchain investigations and intelligence expert. Thank you for coming on.